Ample competence and outstanding service delivery will be on display.
On the news tonight, President Buhari presides over a valedictory session for appointees seeking elective or post.
There is enough time to respond to the security challenges and secure the nation for elections to take place nationwide.
9 months to the general polls, INEC tasked security agencies on timely and adequate preparations.
The levels of flood in this category is expected to be high in terms of impact on the population, agriculture, livelihood, livestock, and infrastructure.
Also tonight, 2022 flood outlook puts government at all levels on the alert. Hello and a warm welcome to NTA Network News. I am Jummai Yusuf and we're live in Abuja. You can follow our news broadcast live on our website nta.ng/live and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. Let's get the news. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed confidence in the ability of a significant number of the Federal Executive Council members to aspire to higher elective positions, including the presidency, saying they have been sufficiently equipped. This was at a valedictory session for those leaving the cabinet to pursue their political ambitions. State House correspondent Adam Sambo has the details.
10 members of the Federal Executive Council have indicated their desire to contest either the presidential, governorship or National Assembly elections. 9 of them attended this farewell audience. President Muhammadu Buhari commended the departing ministers for their courage to seek elective positions after serving the nation sacrificially with dignity and honor.
I have no doubt that if the next president emerges from among former members of this cabinet, like any other aspirant, ample competence and outstanding service delivery will be on display. This will be part of our legacies to Nigerians.
While wishing the outgoing ministers success in the upcoming elections and future endeavors, the president said their departure has undoubtedly created a vacuum that should be filled, and that he promised will be carried out without delay so that the business of governance will not suffer.
For members of the cabinet that are remaining on board, I wish to remind you that the journey to the finish line is very far, and this calls for more diligence, resilience, and commitment to serve Nigerians better. Like always, there will be challenges to address, programs to deliver, and policies to implement. You must therefore brace up for more work and target increased accomplishments. Determination to leave important legacies for Nigerians should never be compromised.
The Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, who spoke on behalf of the outgoing ministers, thanked the president for giving them the opportunity to serve the nation, saying even as they stepped aside, they will continue to remain his disciples.
I want you to know that it is time for us to provocate Buharism. For Nigerians who misunderstood you, the next 8 months will afford us the opportunity not just to correct the misimpressions, but also to position you where history will record you and posterity will never forget you. Will never forget your love for this country. Will never forget your contributions to the country and your deep sense of patriotism.
I'm grateful for all the president has said, and we are glad to have worked with a man who has so much passion for a nation called Nigeria.
We are making a case for Nigerian women. It's not about pulling talent. It's about getting more women in the National Assembly. We cannot allow men to deny women of their rightful positions.
So you have resigned?
I've not yet resigned.
The 10 ministers seeking elective positions have only 3 days remaining, within which their letters of resignation must be tendered. But whether all of them will summon the courage to leave from what appears to be certainty for uncertainty, only time will tell. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
On the bilateral scene, the federal government says it will lend a helping hand to South Sudan in fighting insurgency and restoring cohesion to the country. President Muhammadu Buhari made the promise while receiving in audience the special envoy of the South Sudanese leader, President Salva Kiir. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu tells us more.
The special envoy of the South Sudanese leader, Albino Mathom Ayuel, is in Nigeria on the mandate of his president, Salva Kiir, to intimate President Muhammadu Buhari with the situation in his country. He said an insurgent group, in particular, just like Boko Haram, kills, maims, and destroys mercilessly. The envoy appealed for close collaboration between Nigeria and South Sudan on security, particularly the training of the South Sudanese forces, given Nigeria's experience in the area. Mr. Albino Ayuel said South Sudan is keen on ending the insurgent activities, hence the appeal to the big brother Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari told the special envoy the situation his administration inherited on coming to power in 2015, especially in the Northeast, and how great strides have been taken in comparison with present days. Nigeria, he said, will study the South Sudanese situation and see how it can help. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Let's shift our attention to politics. Some members of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Ondo State have called on delegates to the party's national convention to support Vice President Jummai Osinbajo to clinch the party's presidential ticket, stressing that he is the right man for the job. This was at a consultative meeting of the Vice President with members of the APC in Akure, Ondo State. Doris Olumuko reports.
Various groups of members of the All Progressives Congress APC in those states greeted the Vice President and his entourage to a rousing welcome. With few days to the APC National Convention, some party loyalists say Vice President Jummai Osinbajo is a tested and trusted partyman who can continue with the policies of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Very, very focused and diligent citizen. I believe is one to look out for. Also, his owning formula works in his favor as far as the South is concerned.
Buttressing his experience, capacity, and leadership qualities, Vice President Jummai Osinbajo said he is the most qualified to fly the APC presidential flag. The Vice President will be slugging it out with over 20 other presidential aspirants of the APC at the party's national convention. In Akure, Doris Olumuko, NTA News.
Delegates of the All Progressives Congress for the forthcoming presidential primary election from Kaduna State have interacted with one of the party's frontline presidential aspirants, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, where he conversed for their votes to enable him become the standard bearer of the All Progressives Congress in the next years. Presidential election, Umar Anjigi reports that Governor Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai led party officials in the state in receiving the aspirant.
Political atmosphere in Kaduna State is getting charged, especially in the ruling All Progressive Congress with series of meetings. The visit of Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the state is in continuation of consultations with critical stakeholders in the party. The presidential aspirant is meeting 69 delegates who are expected to cast their ballots at the party's presidential primary election. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's strategy to convince them to support his aspiration remains central theme of this interactive session.
We are in that season again now to elect people. I said, please elect me
I am the best of all of them.
Honestly, the easiest political decision I have ever made in my political life was to support Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the president of Nigeria.
While raising issues of national interest, the aspirant emphasizes on securing the country if given the opportunity. He re-emphasized the need for Nigerians to remain united and avoid things which tend to polarize the nation. Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai thanked the aspirant for sparing his time to engage delegates of Kaduna State. In Kaduna, Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress has concluded sales and collection of expression of interest and nomination forms to aspirants ahead of the primary elections. The presidential nomination and expression of interest forms for the Senate, President Ahmed Lawal, and that of Governor Ben Ayade of Cross River State were among the last batch submitted to the party's National Secretariat. Governor of Yobe State and immediate past caretaker chairman of the APC, Mala Buni, and his Imo State counterpart, Hope Uzodima, submitted the forms on behalf of the Senate President.
Today we are here in solidarity to accompany our leader, the Senate President, to submit his duly completed form. And we have so done. And we have submitted the form. There is no basis for long grammar today. The only thing here is for you to know our mission and our intention.
First, to thank Nigerians who from all walks of life put up resources together to procure the presidential form for His Excellency Senator Professor Ben Ayade, the Governor of Cross River State, and made an earnest call to him to come and run as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And in heeding to their yearnings and aspiration and that call, he accepted, and that form has been filled, and what we have just done today is to submit the duly completed form.
Screening of aspirants is scheduled to commence this Saturday, 14th of May 2022. Former presiding officers of state houses of assembly on the platform of the People's Democratic Party have resolved to work towards the adoption of a consensus presidential candidate. Yusuf reports that some organs of the new Nigeria People's Party and the African Democratic Congress are also strategizing towards a heat-free primaries election.
All former presiding officers and deputies of state houses of assembly are statutory delegates. This forum, made up of more than 100, is leveraging on its numerical strength to give full support in the PDP presidential primary election.
We want to have, a block vote for a particular candidate whom we agree have the capacity and credibility to win the general elections.
The Justice and Equity Group has approached the PDP National Working Committee ahead of the party's primaries to respect zoning formula in Enugu State.
Why are we talking of zoning culture in Nigeria generally? We are talking of justice, we are talking of fairness, we are talking of equity.
And in NNPP, the women's wing of the party has appealed to women and youth to vote only capable leaders into elective positions during the 2023 general elections.
We will educate them, we will enlighten them, we will mobilize them, and we network among ourselves.
Former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria and YPP presidential candidate in the 2019 election, Professor Kingsley Morgalu, has met with the National Working Committee of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, briefed members of his intention to clinch the party's ticket in the 2023 presidential election.
Our party, the ADC, is the credible alternative. But after the primaries, we will unroll our strategy.
We are going to have a superpower Nigeria. That superpower Nigeria must start in 2023.
Professor Morgalu is making a second attempt at the country's presidency. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Agricultural Production and Services, Muntari Nduze, says challenges in Nigeria can be surmounted when citizens put national interest before self. While submitting his nomination and expression of interest form to contest for the Senate in Katsina South, Danduse maintained that the APC government has done its utmost to ensure good governance. Abubakar Akwanga reports.
Flanked by supporters from his constituency to submit the forms, the House member is of the view that, despite impact of global happenings on the economy, the APC government spared no effort in ensuring stability.
Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief Muhammadu Buhari, he has done wonderfully because there is a lot of problems which he has met them. And this problem is global problem. It's not a Nigerian problem. Everywhere in the world, there is a lot of economic and security problem.
Politicians, he said, should be ethical, principled, and commit themselves to growth and progress of Nigeria.
What is important, we need to put head together to ensure peace and security of this country. And I believe APC has done wonderfully if you look at the critical instructions which was done by the APC.
On his ambition to move from the green to the red chamber in the National Assembly, Muntari Danduse says he has consulted major stakeholders, among them the national chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Adamu, and Senator Abu Ibrahim, who represented Katsina South Senatorial District in the 8th Assembly. Muntari Mohammed Danduse has since 2015 been the member representing Funtua Dandume Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
There will be more on politics after this break. Don't go away.
People, 320,000 naira bonus. With your plan, you will receive 20,000 naira bonus. To a glow line. It's simple, sir. Just call 109 or dial star 109 or just
What about those of us who do not have NIN?
You can walk into any ground. How do I partake of the 20,000? You are a new or old customer. Get your bonus, why not?
I have received my 20,000 naira bonus.
The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Oladayo Amao, on behalf of officers, airmen, airwomen, and civilian staff of the Nigerian Air Force, wishes to inform the general public of the Nigerian Air Force Day Celebration and Reunion 2022, which will take place at the Nigerian Air Force Base Kano from 19th to 21st May 2022. The theme of this year's celebration is enhancing Nigerian Air Force efficiency in joint operations for effective response to contemporary national security imperatives. Activities lined up for the celebrations include Jummai prayers, interdenominational church service, medical outreaches, seminar, gala night, historical photo gallery, aerial display, R&D exhibition, ceremonial parade, amongst others. The special guest of honor at the occasion is the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, Nigerian Air Force, willing, able, ready.
Wake up the champion in your child. Give them energy to go further. Milo Active Go and the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa helps wake up the champion in your child.
Milo. The Honorable Minister of Education, Malam Adamu hereby invites interested and qualified Nigerians to participate in the 2021-2022 nomination computer-based test for Federal Scholarship Award for Nigerian Award Scholarship 2021-2022, tenable in Nigerian public tertiary institutions. The venue for the interviews are scheduled as follows in the 6 geopolitical zones. Methods of application. All qualified candidates are advised to visit Federal Minister of Education website, www.education.gov.ng, and click on the Federal Scholarship Board icon on the homepage. Read the guidelines and then complete the application form online. Print the examination slate. Double entries will be disqualified. Candidates are advised to attach letter of admission and current school identity card to the application. Candidates should choose the computer-based test center, CBT, very close to him. The registration portal will be open from the 9th of May to 22nd of June 2022. For further inquiries, contact us through the email fsb@education.gov.ng. Andrew David Adijo, Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Education, announcer.
The Zenith Better Life promo is back, and it's bigger and better. You could be one of 20 lucky customers to win 150,000 naira every 2 weeks from now till January 31st, 2023. To qualify, simply open a Zenith Bank account and maintain a minimum balance of 5,000 naira. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com/betterlife. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Everyone talks about how great the S22 camera is, especially at night. Well, let's go check it out.
The S22 low-light video experience called Nightography makes nights epic.
I find the strength I need every time that I look into your eyes. I know they worry, 'cause I know that you did by my side. And if I fall away, right in the midst of all my hour, you know that I am on my way. They always there for me. No matter what I do, you love me unconditionally. You show up, you love me every day. No matter where it's in, I show you. You show me love, you show me love.
You're welcome back, and more on politics. You may say, like mother, like daughter. Dr. Karo Nwosu has joined her mother to contest the 2023 presidential election. Linda Okori-Igwe reports that the presidential hopeful who is vying for the presidency under the platform of Africa Action Congress obtained her form in Abuja.
Her journey to clinch the presidential ticket of African Action Congress begins with this presentation of forms amidst cheers by her supporters. Like a 102-year-old mother, Karo Nwosu, who declared to run for presidency, a global consultant on micro, small and medium enterprises, believes she is capable of taking Nigeria to greater heights. Her vision is to fill the nation through robust and sustained agricultural program that will be rolled out across the 774 local government areas of the country if given the mandate.
I will do anything that God had given me as a gift, plus the one He led me to learn, and the final to lead. I see my people in pain. I am also in pain. There is hunger in our land the way it has never been before. Know that a hungry man is an angry man.
Dr. Karo Nwosu is the second female aspirant that has indicated interest in the presidential race. In Abuja, Linda Okori-Igwe, NTA.
INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu says security agencies should identify and address threats ahead of the 2023 general elections within the 9 months left. The chairman made the appeal at an inter-agency election security consultative meeting in Abuja.
The general security situation in the country and its impact on the electoral process is a source of concern to the Commission. However, we are confident that with 9 months to the 2023 general election, there is enough time to respond to the security challenges and secure the nation for elections to take place nationwide. The timetable for the election has been released. Let us not wait until a few weeks to the election before we realize that time is not on our side and begin to seek for extension of timelines.
National Security Advisor in a message tasked the security agencies to rise to the occasion and ensure no individual or group test the might of the state.
Head of security and law enforcement agencies have been tasked
to step up close monitoring and profiling of political actors, no matter highly placed, who exhibit tendencies that subvert the electoral process.
Let's bring you up to speed with other news as President Muhammadu Buhari strongly condemns the resort to self-help by the mob in Sokoto, resulting in violence, destruction and killing of a second-year student of Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto, Deborah Samuel, following an allegation that she had blasphemed Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam. In a statement, President Buhari says the news of the killing of the young lady by fellow students was a matter of concern and demanded an impartial and extensive probe into all that happened before and during the incident. The president noted that Muslims all over the world demand respect for the holy prophets, including Isa alayhi salam, that is Jesus Christ, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But where transgression occur, as alleged to be in the case in this instance, the law does not allow anyone to take matters into their hands. The president extends the nation's condolences to the family of the deceased student and wished all those injured a quick recovery. Meanwhile, the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has condemned in strong terms the gruesome murder of a Christian 200-level student of the Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto, Deborah Samuel, by some extremist fellow students on alleged blasphemy. In a statement by CAN's General Secretary Joseph Badi Daramola, he says the unlawful and dastardly action of the perpetrators must not only be condemned, but also bring the culprits to book. Similarly, the Muslim media practitioners of Nigeria has also condemned in strong terms the jungle justice meted out to the girl Deborah in Sokoto State on the excuse of blasphemy against the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, on Thursday, describing such action as anti-Islamic, barbaric and sad. In a statement by the national president of the group, Abdul Rahman Balogo, in Abuja, described the case of mob killing of the girl in Sokoto as a criminal offense in Islamic law. It stresses that Nigeria remains a non-religious state and commiserates with the family of the deceased. Meanwhile, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal of Sokoto State has appealed to Nigerians to continue to be calm as government has taken measures to avert any possible breach of the law in respect of the incident at Shehu Shagari College of Education, which has led to the death of late Deborah Samuel. Tambuwal was speaking after a closed-door meeting with head of security agencies and religious leaders in the state. Dalhatu Abdullahi reports.
The peace at Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto, was interrupted on Thursday as the students went on rampage, overpowering the school security agents to attack and set ablaze a female student of the economics department of the college. This led to the immediate closure of the college by the state government. A visit to the college shows that all the students have left. Meanwhile, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal has met with the security agencies in the state calling for calm. He described the incident as unfortunate and uncalled for.
If there is any issue that one or some people are not comfortable with, they report such to constituted authority. That is what is expected of us as responsible citizens, and that is what we require. It is unfortunate, but I appeal that the peaceful coexistence that has been we've enjoyed over the years amongst our various communities in Sokoto State should, especially between Muslims and Christians, should continue.
I want to call on all Christians who are bereaved, especially in this state, to please calm down. Like we have gotten a lot of assurances and commitment on the part of His Excellency and the security agents, we will ensure that this matter is followed and we are able to see to its own conclusion.
Governor Tambuwal also held similar meeting with Islamic scholars and the chief imams in the state. An Islamic scholar in Sokoto speaks on the provisions of Islam on issues like this.
It is the authority that is supposed to take care of this. The authority should handle the matter properly. That is the ideal thing. But unfortunately, that is why it is always not good. It's not good to start something that will escalate.
The Sultanate Council of Sokoto, in a statement, had condemned the incident and called for calm. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
To other news now, the three-day capacity building on mediation and negotiation for Benue State Traditional Council has ended in Abuja with the resolve to constitute an all-inclusive Traditional Council mediation and negotiation committee for quick response to conflict threats in the state, in line with the strategies acquired from the training. Francis Fong reports.
The three-day training focused on the fundamentals of mediation and the related skills in negotiation, in addition to extensive theoretical analysis.
A lot of the work they're doing, they're already experiencing. So I was personally really under impression how much they already do, and we just kind of gave them some tools that can help them on their way.
After some time, we then have to revisit the issue, meet them again, this time perhaps convening in Benue to now ask them what are their experiences.
Participants benefited from simulation, which allowed them to experience the dynamics in mediation and negotiation.
We have also learned from this meeting the essence of bringing peace to our community.
The communique presented by His Royal Highness Christopher Ujale was summarized by the chairman, Benue State Council of Traditional Rulers.
We will go back and repackage what we have received in the context of our tradition and environment and give examples that are local.
They also promised to advise the Benue State government to fast-track the adoption of the bill for the establishment of a peace commission that is before the Benue State House of Assembly. Then comes the signing of the communique and the presentation of certificates to the participants. Francis from NTA News.
Still talking security, Nigeria is seeking more global support to eliminate every trace of ISIS in the Lake Chad Basin and part of the northeast. National Security Advisor Major General Baba Gana Mongono, retired, made the request as he led Nigeria's delegation to the ministerial meeting of the Global Coalition to Defeat ISIS in Marrakesh, Morocco. The Global Coalition to Defeat ISIS is an 83-member alliance established in 2014 to reduce the threat ISIS poses to international security in general and the national security of member countries. The 2022 meeting in Morocco was the first to be convened in Africa, which presented an opportunity for the coalition led by the United States to reaffirm the shared determination to continue the fight against ISIS through both military and civilian-led efforts to sustain pressure on ISIS remnants in Iraq and Syria and to counter its global networks, especially in Africa. In a joint communique issued by the ministers of the Global Coalition to Defeat ISIS following the meeting in Morocco, member countries affirmed that ensuring the enduring defeat of ISIS in Iraq and Syria remains a priority. The coalition acknowledged that despite significant setbacks suffered by ISIS leadership in recent times, the group continues to conduct attacks on Iraq and Syria and represents an ongoing threat to national security. The coalition also reiterated the importance of allocating adequate resources to sustaining its activities and those of legitimate partner forces. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Ministry of Defense to commence on specific reforms that will enhance service delivery in the quest to secure the nation. The reforms, as announced by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defense, Dr. Ibrahim Abubakar Kana, include improvement in healthcare and educational services for members of the armed forces and their families.
Ministry of Defense is the only ministry that the President has continued to fund her budget 100%. What it means is that it only underscores the importance the government has actually placed in the areas of security. We are also working with the Defense Headquarters and the Tri-Services to see how very senior military officers will be deployed to the ministry so that they can be part of the policy-making system of the Ministry of Defense, which really is our primary responsibility.
Following approval from the presidency, a dedicated department for veteran services will be created in the ministry.
The president has given approval for the creation of a whole department of veteran services within the ministry. That is a leapfrog in trying to provide the best services for the veterans. That's only to show that government has not forgotten them. Government appreciates what they've done for the country and will continue to look after them.
The federal government recently approved the payment of the allowances and other enrollments of military veterans and pensioners. Solutions seem to be in sight towards flattening the curve of insecurity and other forms of disaster threatening peace and critical assets in the country. This follows the official launch of the Nigeria Security and Public Safety Alert System by the Ministry of Interior. Abubakar Akwanga reports.
Decades of painstaking findings for innovative solutions in curbing insecurity and other avoidable disasters may just have yielded desired results with the launch of the Nigeria Internal Security and Public Safety Alert System. The application is developed to work on a smartphone and aimed at alerting security and disaster management agents on how to deploy the digital infrastructure in preventing challenges.
It is interesting to note that the NIPSA's mobile app system combines audio, visual capabilities and potential such as voice and geospatial color locators of the incidents for the purpose of authentication against false calls or alerts.
There is absolutely no way we can squarely face the challenges of insecurity without building an approach that involves every security agency.
These are the industry players, and to them, the full activation of this application to save lives and protect national assets is a task that must be carried out.
If there is vigilance, we could detect this, and with this app, you can send your suspicion to relevant agencies that will convert them to intelligence that will lead to apprehension or some mitigation of the danger that such an individual will pose to society or your community.
We will partner with the Ministry of Interior to use all our available platforms, the NTA, the FRCN, the News Agency of Nigeria, and the National Rotation Agency to ensure that we advertise and we propagate this very important application by the Ministry of Interior, so that every Nigerian will be able to benefit.
The operation of this application will be coordinated in a situation room where credible information would be extracted to aid the battle against insecurity and other life-threatening factors. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Operatives of the Force Intelligence Response Team have arrested a gun runner who concealed firearms in bags of beans in Plateau State. Francis Fong reports that a gang of kidnappers were also arrested.
This 38-year-old man was arrested in Namu, Kwanpan local government area of Plateau State in connection with firearms concealed in bags of beans meant for onwards delivery to this 40-year-old man who was waiting in Nasarawa State to take delivery.
Investigation revealed that the suspect intended to transport the firearms to Anambra State for some criminal elements in that area. And these were found in commercial vehicles where they were trying to smuggle it down to the east. So this is just for members of the public to know. When the police stop you to search you, they have reasons for doing this.
This gang of 6 were arrested for hijacking a DAF tanker truck loaded with 45,000 liters of PMS in Saminakan. Investigation by the police revealed that the suspects discharged the products at an unknown location, while the empty truck has since been recovered. Here again is a gang of kidnappers who specializes in kidnapping for ransom. The ringleader confessed to have been in the business of kidnapping since 2009.
He was among the prison inmates that broke out of prison during the unfortunate attack on correctional facility in Imo State.
A share of arms has been recovered from the suspect, while the police assures that all suspects will have a date in court at the end of the investigation. Francis from NTA News.
Time now to join Michael in Lagos for more on Network News. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Jummai. To strengthen the fight against illicit drugs in the country, the Nigerian Navy has donated 2 boats and equipment to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. And Nigeria reports that with this, the marine operations of the anti-drug agency is fortified.
Before now, the NDLEA and the Nigerian Navy have worked together to check the use of marine space for the drug trafficking and other heinous crimes. With the donation of these boats and training equipment by the Nigerian Navy, Chairman of the NDLEA, retired Brigadier General Buba Marwa, says the synergy and ties are now stronger to put an end to the problem of illicit drugs with the devastating effect on the nation's human and economic resources. Represented by the Director of Seaports Operations of the NDLEA, Omolade Faboyede, the agency's chairman noted that collaboration with the military, especially the Navy, will produce more outstanding results in the country's fight against narcotic drugs and psychopathic substances.
Several arrests that they have transferred to us, and we are working together. It is due to that collaboration that this is coming up. So it's a continuous synergy.
The Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Awal Gambo, explained that the donation will assist the NDLEA while boosting the maritime security activities of the Navy. He said the equipment were to consolidate the efforts of the Navy as several formations of the Nigerian Navy across the nation had impounded illicit drugs and arrested the dealers who were handed over to the NDLEA.
Since this is the first time of them using this kind of equipment, we are going to give them the basic training as directed by the Chief of Naval Staff. Then later on, as we progress, we'll continue to give them the advanced training as required.
Both agencies expressed determination to cripple the activities of drug cartels on every front. In Lagos, Enojo Adiku, NTA News.
One sector of Nigeria's economy that has remained a source of concern to both past and present administrations is the power sector. Even with several schemes and initiatives, the challenges have persisted. This is why the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission organized a town hall meeting in Festac area of Lagos to forge the way forward. Annie Daniels has details.
Why? Why do you refuse to meet out this? If I just know what I use, I will pay.
This scenario is always the case at town hall meetings between electricity distribution companies and the consumers. Metering has remained a hotly debated topic in the electricity sector, owing to consumer grievances with electricity distribution companies over inaccurate measurements of energy consumption.
If my analog meter is giving me not more than 79 kilowatts usage per month, and my current prepaid, which was installed, is giving me 52, how will you tell me that my analog is not working?
This is why the Nigerian Electricity Regulation Company, NEC, went all out to have a one-on-one interaction with electricity consumers in Festac area of Lagos.
The metering gap now has gone up to about 8 million customers. And under the National Mass Metering Program Phase 1 is supposed to cover 4 million customers. The rest 4 million would be financed, would be metered through MAP and vendor financing and other financing interventions by the distribution company.
Aisha Mahmood cited electricity thefts and meter bypass as among issues that have slowed down the smooth running of metering to consumers.
But what we need to understand is that, most of this revenue that is collected from consumers does not even go to the distribution company itself. A lot of it is paid to the gas suppliers.
And a co-distribution company says, in spite of these challenges, it has been able to meter about 52% of the state's population.
We've done KYC by our team and ensure that appropriate channels of payments using a link online is done.
When the vendor gets to your house and discovers that your meter, for instance, is under your bedroom or under the stairways, he will tell you what it will require to bring it out. It's all yours. So long as the place is ready for metering, at no extra cost, the meters will be installed.
It is widely accepted that making prepaid meters available to electricity consumers is all that is needed for an improved electricity supply and customer satisfaction. This, NEC says, is its target and will surely be actualized. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages. The news continues shortly. Please stay.
Something Global, the app that delivers anything you want. When your bestie is over and you crave party jollof rice or maybe a burger, order Global and get your food delivered yum yum. When you're missing the right ingredients for your wonderful meal, order Global. And while the ones you love, when the game is hot but you have run out of drinks, order Global and be the best guy and save the day. Download the app, order Global, and we will deliver.
Introducing Goodnight Power Shots Multi-Insect Killer. Fast action and great fragrance. Spray 2 shots each in 4 corners of the room. Stops mosquitoes without stopping family moments. Goodnight Power Shots. Spray inside, stay inside. Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
Oh boy.
You know, I know you're making up the truth. Why can't I go before I lose my cool? I know you even past the difficult.
Wake up the champion in your child. Give them energy to go further. Milo Active Go and the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa helps wake up the champion in your child.
Milo. A peak protein breakfast. Get fruits for a great day. How do I know? Because my daddy goes through his work feeling good and always with a smile. Mommy is always filled with confidence. My sister is always in tune. And for me, learning new things becomes absolute fun. Because all day and every day, the peak goes on.
Start your day with a peak protein breakfast. Reach for your peak.
Say you dey find ogbonge entertainment? Not look far o. Na GoTV dey. Enjoy better film, correct season film sef, boku plus telenovelas dem from all over the world. Football, educational and fun channels for your children. Naija shows them like Nigerian Idols and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. No darling at all o. Go carry your GoTV decoder, go tenner plus 1 month max subscription for just 8,900 naira. The where tourists live. GoTV, love it.
Thanks for joining us. Participants of Senior Executive Course 44 Study Group 7 of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies have been urged to make comprehensive recommendations towards addressing root causes of the Boko Haram insurgency. Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umara Zulum gave the charge at a one-day workshop on strengthening local governance in Nigeria, organized by the Borno State government as part of their study tour. Yago Subuka reports.
Participants of the Senior Executive Course 44 Group 7 2022 are in Maiduguri for 6 days study tour on strengthening local governance, challenges, options and opportunities. Professor Babagana Umar Zulum appreciated the Director General Professor Ayo Omotayo for choosing Borno for the study tour, adding that the state stands to gain a lot from the visit. He highlighted causes of the insurgency, which include infrastructural deficit, poverty, and climate change, among others, saying the role of government at the grassroots in addressing the challenges is most important. The governor was emphatic that unless corruption is addressed at all levels, Nigeria will not develop.
Now I want members of this particular group to recommend this very important phenomenon to the presidency for consideration.
The governor also highlighted some measures taken by the present administration in the state to change the narrative through verification of local government staff and that of primary school teachers. Professor Ayo Omotayo, who said they are in Maiduguri as part of efforts to better the society and to move Nigeria forward, noted that Borno was chosen for the study tour not only because the governor is an alumnus of the institute, but also was informed by its peculiar challenges of over a decade-long insurgency from which it is fast recovering. Hence, they need to study governance in the affected areas.
Out of about 13 states in the federation that have international borders, only Borno State has a border with 3 different countries. That means it's a very unique state in Nigeria.
Professor Ayo Omotayo, who noted rapid post-insurgency reconstruction and development of Borno within a short space of time, described Governor Zulum as an example of what NIPS can do, saying the institute is proud of Governor Zulum. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
We apologize for the mix-up. That was Mohamed Goni's report. Let's have Yagum Subukar's report now.
Participants of the Senior Executive Course 44 Group 7 2022 are in Maiduguri for 6 days study tour on strengthening local governance, challenges, options, and opportunities. Professor Abagana Umar Azilm appreciated the Director General Professor Ayo Omotayo for choosing Borno for the study tour, adding that the state stands to gain a lot from the visit. He highlighted causes of the insurgency, which include infrastructural deficit, poverty, and climate change, among others, saying the role of government at the grassroots in addressing the challenges is most important. The governor was emphatic that unless corruption is addressed at all levels, Nigeria will not develop.
Apologies for the mix-up. Now let's move on. Federal, state and local government authorities will have to step up timely efforts in flood management to prevent probable flood risks across the country as the rainy season sets in. That is the implication of the 2022 flood outlook presented by Water Resources Minister on behalf of the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency in Abuja. Musbau Danwahab reports.
Barely a week before the May 14 predicted by NIMET for the commencement of rains in the north central part of Lokogoma district in FCT had a feel of what the season holds. Most floods are natural disaster, but the perennial cases in Lokogoma and its likes across the country are human-induced.
The entire area is a floodplain area, but you can cite somebody who has erected a foundation, who wants to build not only on the waterways, but in the river.
Some lives already lost and properties destroyed in some states so early into the season, but no scary tale intended. Going by the 2022 flood outlook, what Lokogoma experienced was only a flash. Starting from April, 233 LGAs across 32 states and the FCT will have to arm themselves against the looming danger as they fall within the highly probable flood risk areas, while others fall within either moderately or probable flood risk areas.
Highly probable flood risk areas between the months of April and November. And levels of flood in this category is expected to be high in terms of impact on the population, agriculture, livelihood, livestock, and infrastructure.
When crops are washed away, it brings a lot of implications of food security.
We apologize for the poor audio output in that report. We'll take some messages. When we return, more reports. Don't go away.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news, or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Thanks for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari says the death of UAE President Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed has robbed the world of one of its visionary and most remarkable leaders of modern times. Reacting to the demise of Sheikh Khalifa, President Buhari says it is impossible to write about the social and economic transformation of the UAE without recognition of the significant and immeasurable contributions of the deceased to the progress of the country. Today, the late Khalifa bin Zayed will have a prominent mention in the pantheon of great achievers who have used the wealth of their countries to transform the lives of the people. Weather update is next.
A warm welcome to Saturday's weather forecast. This active weather system is expected to propagate westwards to give early morning thunderstorms to parts of Edo, Ondo, Ogun, Osun, Ekiti, including some high ground areas of Kogi, Nasarawa, FCT, Benue, as well as parts of Kaduna and Taraba states. The afternoon and evening still holds prospects of thunderstorms to parts of Adamawa, the eastern half of the central and inland areas of the south, down to the stretch of the coast. I am Theodorite. Thank you for watching.
That's it on Network News tonight. Don't forget, before we go, to step up, be a star and join the fight against rape and rapists. I am Jummai Yusuf.